Hello, welcome to Babble About Books. My name is Tavia and today you're joining me for my monthly TBR game, Spiraling Out of Books. It is my monthly TBR game and this is the board, and the point is to reach a book haul and to kind of read the books that I own that I have yet to read before I can buy more books. You start here and you spiral to the middle. Each number on a 12-sided die has a genre corresponded with it, and so I do 5 rolls, and the number that I roll is the genre I have to read, and I just currently switched it up to where I pick the books I choose. Before I was kind of just doing it random, but it was putting me in a reading slump, so I'm just picking the books I want to. And so let's get into what I was supposed to read in April. Okay, so what I read in April, it is currently the 24th, so I still have like 7 days. So keep that in mind. So the first book I read was The Power of Six by Pittacus Lore. This is the second book to the Lorien Legacy series. I Am Number 4 is the first one. This one fulfilled the prompt for the buzzwordathon of, space themed. This has to do with aliens. And so I can't say too much about the second book because it is the second book in a series. But I Am Number 4 is about a boy named John Smith who is an alien, and it's kind of his, journey through being an alien on the planet is the best I can describe it as. So I picked up the second book this month. This wasn't on my TBR game, but it did fit the prompt for buzzwordathon. So this is the first book I read in April. Okay, the second book I read in April was Twilight the Graphic Novel, Volume 2. Basically, it's just the graphic novel for Twilight was split into 2 books when it was first published, and I own the first one and the second one, so I just read the second half, and it was good. I enjoyed it. It starts off finally when Edward and Bella get together, and then, finishes. So yeah, this is the second book I read in April, and this was on my TBR for my graphic novel roll. The third book I read in April was Hidden by Helen Frost, which is a story told in verse. This was for my other genre, and this is basically about 2 girls who meet in a summer camp, and their pasts are actually more intertwined than you would think. I enjoyed it. I loved the way it was written, and I don't know if all the books have it, but in the end there is a diving deeper in the format, and there's this really cool way that she writes one of the characters' chapters that gives you more insight to that character. So I really enjoyed this book, and I would highly recommend it. So this is the third book I read this month. Now, if you watched last month's video, you know I rolled over a book, which is Dinosaurs on Other Planets by Danielle McLaughlin. I have not picked this book up this month at all. I do still have 7 days, and I do have 2 full days off, and I have it planned to where both of those days are just for reading only. So I have to finish this. It is my top priority. So that will be happening. Hopefully by the time I've edited this video, I will have finished it. So I will put down here that I finished it, if I have. And if not, I'll explain to you what's going to happen in a little bit. Okay, another book that I'm reading this month, my 5th or 6th book, is Children of Virtue and Vengeance by Tommy Amietti. I am too lazy to grab the dust jacket, but I am halfway through it. I'm on page 202. I will be finishing it this month, so I'm not even worried about completing it. I'm absolutely loving it. This is the second book in the series. The first one is Children of Blood and Bone, and this one is a follow-up to the first one, where these 2 siblings and this runaway princess try to bring magic back to the land and kind of, make people love each other again. And so this is just a continuation after the first one. I can't say too much about what's going on in this one because it is the second book in the series. Okay, and for my middle grade roll for last month, I picked up Arusha and the End of Time by Roshni Chokshi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I am about 20 pages into this. It's going by really quick. It's not that, I'm actually 40 pages in. It's flying by pretty quick, so I have a feeling I'll definitely be able to finish this by the end of the month. Fingers crossed. Editing Tavia will let you know if I accomplish that. And then last but not least, I had historical fiction, I believe. And for that, I picked up Hidden Figures by Margaret Lee Chatterley. I have not picked this up yet, but I am allowed to roll one book over, so if I do, this will probably be the book that I roll over. But fingers crossed, with how much reading time I have planned for myself for these next 7 days, I'll be able to finish this book. So, at the end of the video, I will explain what will happen if I don't finish these books, because in my game I do take a punishment if I don't finish a book, either a rollover or if I have more than 2 books that I have to roll over. So at the end of the video I will explain what my punishment will be if I don't finish them. So let's get into the game. Okay, we're starting on 56 today. Now let's do the first roll. Got a 4, which is fiction. Okay, for the first roll I rolled 4, which was fiction, and for that one I am picking up The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Bone. Basically, this is about World War II in Nazi Germany. There is a concentration camp, and it is a very sad story, and I don't know all what is spoilers because this doesn't have a synopsis on it, but basically it's just about World War II. There's a Nazi concentration camp, and it is going to be about somebody in one of those camps. So I watched the movie. It was really, really sad, and so I don't want to say I'm excited to pick it up, but I'm excited to pick it up because I know books are typically better than the movies, and that movie was really good for the topic it's about. Roll number 2. 5, which is horror. Okay, and the second roll was 5 for horror, and for that one I am picking up Home Before Dark by Riley Sager. I've never read Riley Sager before, so I'm excited. And I think I'm finding that I like mystery thrillers and horrors, so this will be my first like technical horror story that I'll be reading, where I've read a couple mystery thrillers. So I'm excited for this. This is about a girl whose father believes their home is haunted, her like childhood home. He passes away, she inherits the home, and now she has to figure out if her childhood and her father is the truth or whatnot. And also this fits in for the Buzzwordathon, which is home or house in the title, Home Before Dark. So that will fit perfectly into the prompt. So I will be reading this within the first week of May. Roll number 3. 11, which is mystery and thriller. 5, sweet. So we hit a book haul, and that was only 5 out of the 11. So we're gonna go back to 1. For the third roll, I rolled an 11, which is mystery thriller, and I did hit a book haul, so pat on the back to that. I think I'm gonna have to create a bigger roll now that I'm doing 5 rolls instead of 4 a month, but to be determined. And so for mystery thriller, I am picking up The Butterfly Garden by Dot Hutchinson. All I know about this is that there's girls and this guy turns them into butterflies. And that's all I really know. I really don't like knowing about books before going into them. But yeah, this is what I will be reading for mystery and thriller. Roll number 4. Roll number 8, historical fiction. And for the fourth roll, I rolled an 8 for historical fiction, and for that one, I'm picking up The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I'm so excited because this was my most anticipated books, so I'm excited to read this. I really don't know too much about it, except the synopsis is what really, not the synopsis, but like the prompt, it's like rule 1, everything has to be recorded. Rule 2, you can't use it against women. I can't remember exactly what it was. I'll put it on the screen. But yeah, so this is what I will be reading for my historical fiction, The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Pinner. I'll also be buddy reading this with my mom, so I'm super excited. So maybe I'll try and convince her to like be part of like a vlog or something with me. So give it a thumbs up if you want my mom to be in a vlog. And lastly, rule number 5. Which is a 2, which is adult fantasy. And we're going to end on space 16 with a book haul this month. And last but not least, I rolled a 2, which is adult fantasy. And out of all the ones I own, I decided to pick up the one that is the biggest. So for that, I picked up Soul of the World by David Mealing. I have no idea what it's about, but the title really captivated me. And it's a book in a series, and I don't own the second one. And with the book haul, if I like this, I'm gonna be able to buy the second book soon. So I am going to be reading this. So when I purchased this, because I don't like knowing a lot of things, but typically with like fantasy, like, you know, I'm okay with reading the synopsis, but the cover caught me. It's 3 must fight, 3 must die, 3 must rise. Sounds interesting to me. And then last but not least, the books on my TBR for this month, so that's 5. This will be 6, is Blood Witch by Susan Dennard. I am reading along with Witchland Along. Now you will see that I did not mention the second book in this because I have yet to read it. So I'm also going to try and cram that on, but hopefully I'll read this one this month in May, because this is the live show. This will be in June. So on top of Blood Witch, I also have to read Wind Witch, because I'm just finishing up Truth Witch. So, but I have a feeling I can do it, so fingers crossed. But yeah, that is the books I'll be reading this month. Let me grab them so I can show you. These are all the books I have to read in May, and this isn't including any rollover that I have. Fingers crossed I won't have a rollover, because rollovers are really messing me up. But yeah, this is my TBR for May. Okay, so now we'll talk about punishments. So if I don't finish Dinosaurs on Other Planets by Daniel McLaughlin, and or I roll over 2 books into May, I will be taking a punishment. And as you can guess, because I waited until the end of the video to tell you, my punishment will be no book haul, which means I will not be able to buy books. And there's lots of books I've been wanting to buy that I've got my eye on. So this now even just makes me more compelled to complete that. So yeah, that will be my punishment. And I will let you know in my first vlog, which will come up the week after this, if I've accomplished that or not. So, fingers crossed I do. So, wish me luck. But yeah, that is my monthly TBR game. I do it every month. Okay, hi, sorry. Camera died. So, I will let you know in my first week's vlog whether I will be taking that punishment or not. But until then, I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like and subscribe, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!